once the meeting starts. What is it again? Yeah. No, why? We would have had to do is coughing.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, I have a cold and my voice is pretty rough. I don't mind repeating myself if you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm Stephen DeLaRoche. I'm the Special Code Enforcement Magistrate for the City of Daytona Beach Shores, and these are the code enforcement hearings. The way the hearings are conducted is I will call each case in turn. The city has the burden of proof. That is, they get to go first, and they have to prove that you did something incorrect according to the code of the City of Daytona Beach Shores. They can introduce evidence, they can introduce testimony, photographs, whatever it is they need to prove their case. At the end of each point in their case, it is your opportunity to cross-examine the city's representative or the city's witnesses. It is not your time to tell me your side of the story. It is cross-examination. When the city has exhausted its case, then it's your turn. You can call yourself as a witness, you can call other people as a witness, you can present documents, photographs, whatever it is that you want to show me. The city gets to ask you questions, and then I will render a decision. If at any time in your case you're unsure what you should do, just raise your hand. I'll give you an idea as to what your options are. I cannot tell you what to do, but I can certainly give you the menu as to what you could do. If it is not your case and you don't understand what's going on, just talk to me later and I'll explain it. Okay? If there is a case where someone is not here, I will wait till the end of the session. I try to deal with the people's cases that have bothered to show up. Okay? First order of business is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Does anybody have good cause as to why the minutes from the last meeting should not be approved? Okay, not hearing anything, they're approved, and we'll move forward. The first case on the docket is property owner 2300 South Atlantic Avenue, LLC. 2300 South Atlantic Avenue, 25-0002. Good morning, Mr. Roundy. How are you?
Good morning, Your Honor. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
I did, and you?
I did, thank you. In the Bahamas.
Good. But you know, things happen so fast, I forgot that Thanksgiving was last week already, and
Right.
on to the next thing.
Yes.
I do have a question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
Why are 4A and 4B separate cases?
Because they were two separate violations that occurred on two separate dates.
Okay. All right, so it's the date that distinguishes them.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Okay. Is there anybody here from 2300 South Atlantic Avenue? You are. Sir, would you come up to the front and sit? And your name is? I've seen you before.
Yes, Kobe Betzelem.
Kobe. Okay. Kobe, what's your connection to the property?
I'm one of the owners.
Okay. All right. Mr. Rondi, please proceed.
Sure.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
go ahead.
First, I'd like to ask that each of the documents included in this PowerPoint file, whether presented during the hearing or not by the city for this case, be accepted as evidence, most of which have been provided to the special magistrate, and all of which have been provided to the respondent or their rep.
Okay, Kobe, did you receive a packet from the city
Yes.
regarding this particular case? And do you have an objection to it going into evidence? Okay, it'll be so received in evidence. I'm really sorry about the voice.
Just for the record, a point of notice, agenda item 4E was pulled from the agenda out of an abundance of caution due to a service irregularity. The case is planned for the January 15th agenda.
Okay, I look forward to seeing it.
Your Honor. Okay, sir, so this is the 2300 South Atlantic Sun Trust Bank. It is vacant right now at this time. This is the first compliance hearing. We had several violations for the property that were scheduled to be corrected by October 15th. As you can see, the violations stated, some of them have been corrected, and then some have been further corrected as of today, and I will get into that when I provide the pictures. But I did go by the property this morning, and one of those violations has come into compliance
Oh, great.
for today.
Okay.
So the first few highlighted bullets are my prior violations. They did pay their admin fees as ordered on August 14th.
Okay,
October 15th was their corrective action date. On the 21st, myself and other members of the city staff conducted a reinspection of the property with Kobe. As I said earlier, some of the violations have been corrected. I did include pictures of all the violations that have been and have not been corrected, just so that we have that for the record. There was discussion regarding some of those violations, specifically for the drive-through area of the bank that has some significant damage and is still in violation, but there are talks with the city and the property owner to potentially be demolishing the drive-through because it might be easier rather than trying to fix it, and it may just be too far gone at this point to fix it. So
okay.
we discussed that on the reinspection date, but since then, there hasn't been any further communication regarding that.
If they demolish the drive-through, would the city look at that as mitigation against any fines that may occur because they didn't fix it?
It's a good question. I don't have the answer to that.
Okay.
I would check with the building official, and we felt that by doing that, it would be an easier fix. I
Right.
don't think it would wipe out any of the fines, but it would certainly help moving forward to reduce any further fining of the property.
Okay, I'm certainly not going to make them paint it before they turn it down or tear it down.
Yes. Okay. This is a printout that I took on December 1st. This is just showing any recent permits since 2012. There is nothing for any kind of work or planned work to be done as of today.
Okay,
So starting with the first violation, it's in green because it has been corrected. It was for weeds and overgrowth. That has thus been corrected throughout the property, so I will find them in compliance with that violation, which was violation A. Violation B, the top left was the initial inspection and, was for their violation date that it had to be corrected by, which was still in violation. My follow-up inspection, which occurred on the reinspection date, there was still debris, several areas of the property and dead vegetation, as you can see. This is one that, as of today, is in compliance. The tire and dead vegetative on the bottom right picture has been removed. The debris on the bottom left picture has been removed. There were some other areas of dead vegetation and debris on the property that I didn't highlight here, but that has been removed. So as of today, the property is in compliance regarding the building materials and dead vegetation. We will still monitor that to make sure that they remain in compliance for that. So this is the drive-through. The previous inspections were the large hole in the drive-through area. As of their violation compliance date, this is what it looks like right now, even as today. So the hole was covered up with plywood. There is some additional cracking that is further, if you look behind the plywood, it's due to water damage and whatnot. So that's why we were in talks of maybe just removing the overhang completely. It might be an easier fix. But right now, as it stands, this is how it looks right now. Even though the hole is covered, it's not in compliance as far as the city is concerned and as far as the code is concerned. Violation D was the exposed light. It's not there anymore. Whether it's tucked up in the hole, I'm not aware. I'm not sure. But the loose wiring and the loose light fixture is no longer there. So
Good enough.
yeah. So I am asking for that to be removed. This was the dumpster enclosure fence also with the dead vegetation. The fence is enclosed now, excuse me, the dumpster enclosure is enclosed now. There is vegetation behind the dumpster, but you have to look over it. I mean, you can still see it through the cracks, but it's contained. They were storing it there while they were trying to clean up the property and having regular pickup. So, but as of now, it's not overflowing like that, and the fence is intact and the enclosure is in sound condition. This was violation F, which was the hurricane shutter. So the initial violation, there was some broken materials, broken shutter materials, that low-hanging pole. As of the reinspection date, the pole has been removed. However, the remnants of the hurricane shutter is still in place. We would like to see either all of that removed or to have a new shutter put in place, because the other windows, the other portions of the building have the hurricane shutters down. So we would like it to either match that or remove all the metal fragments on that window. Violation G was the drip edge. It's a little hard to see with the shadow, but the top picture, it was lifted up, it was coming off of the wall, and any kind of significant wind would have probably ripped that off. The reinspection date, it's flush against the building. It looks better. It's more, it's in compliance with the city, so I was asking for that to be removed. And we have violation H, which was the handrails. Top two pictures are of the east and south side, with the top left being the east side of the building and the top right being the south side of the building. For the reinspection, they fixed the south side, they fixed the east side of the railing, which looks very nice, but the south side still remains, still remains. Mr. Colby will explain where they are in the process of that, but as of today, that still, the south side portion of the railing is still rusted over and still remains in poor condition, but the east side partially compliant and looks much better. So, Your Honor, this is the order we're asking. Some of them have been corrected, others are still in violation, so we are asking the amount of $250 per day until said violations are complied, sir.
Okay. Kobe, do you have any questions for Mr. Rondi?
No.
Okay. Mr. Rondi, do you have anything else you'd like to present?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you like to say anything to me?
Sure.
Okay, would you mind raising your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I will not be singing Christmas carols tonight. I know that. Go ahead.
No, just wanted to say that we've been working since the beginning of the case together. I was giving updates as we fixed things and corrected things. And after the inspection that we had together, we basically had an understanding of what we needed to be done. Most of the things have been corrected, as you could see. The only thing that we have open right now is the drive-through, which we need to come to an full agreement internally on our side, on the owner's side, if that's going to be demolished or we're going to fix that. That's why it's taking a little longer, but at least the hole was covered and there's, no electricity falling down or, nothing that can be in danger right now. Railing. The railing that needs still, the one that needs still need to be corrected.
Did you repaint that?
No, the one in the south side, I'm sorry, the east side was completely replaced.
Right, but the other one looks like it had been painted.
We tried to make it nicer, we tried to polish it, we tried to, sand it and as far as the rust or whatever. Now we actually in the process of getting that replaced as well, but due to the irregular shape of that specific railing, because it goes up and down the stairs, then goes straight and then breaks 90 degrees. So it's kind of like a weird shape. So we're trying to find a solution for that. Either replace it with like 2 separate poles or have that, done in some way. So we are working on that and to get that replaced.
Okay.
And basically that's it. So,
Well, I appreciate that. Mr. Rondi, any questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Kobe, I'm going to find that you are not in compliance yet. However, I'm impressed with what you've done, so I'm going to issue an order number 11. Rather than $250 per day, I'm going to order $200 per day. And a new administrative fee of $85.53. What's wrong, Glenn?
Your Honor, if I may state for the record that any mitigation is typically handled, has
At the end.
customarily been handled at a second compliance hearing once the.
Yes,
property
I
is-
know, but he said 2 things that resonated with me. One is they're trying to decide among the partners what to do, and I can't give him mitigation for that. So I'm going to do a little bit of front end while they're deciding.
okay, and
Okay.
but I thought the fine will be removed since we are
Maybe,
working
maybe
and
not.
getting everything in compliance.
I know. Maybe, maybe not. This is not the time to remove it. I just stuck it on, and I stuck it on a little lower than I usually do because you've made great strides. And I'd like to see this thing through and finished.
Okay.
Okay?
We will.
And as you can see, the city's not happy with me. So I'm sticking my neck out for you to get this thing done.
Right. We will.
Your Honor, may
Yes.
I also clarify for the record that in a situation where demolition ends up being the mitigation, then compliance for that violation or those violations would be at the date of approved final inspection of said demo.
Right.
It doesn't wipe out the fine.
You understand that?
I do.
So you really need to get that hurricane shutter fixed and knock the thing down if you're going to. Okay? And get a permit to knock it down.
Yes.
Just go out there with a sledgehammer today. And $85.53 within 30 days, please.
Okay.
All right? You want to stick around for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one, 4B, 2300 South Atlantic Avenue, LLC, case 25-005. Okay, Mr. Rondi, you've been previously sworn. What do you have for me here?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, I'd like to ask that each of the documents included in this PowerPoint file, whether presented during the hearing or not by the city for this case, be accepted as evidence, most of which have been provided to the special magistrate and all of which have been provided to the respondent or their rep.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Again, Mr. Kobe, do you have any objection as to the packet coming into evidence? All right, so be received into evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I see A has been corrected.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm interested in is B. We're not going to really consider A.
Very good.
Fair enough?
Fair enough, sir. So this case was brought to me by the building official. This was a prior case than when I came on. So I'll speak to what I can on it, but I will be calling the building official up to shed some more light on it.
If I remember, they had subdivided the interior.
That's correct. They had walls put up. I didn't have any pictures of those, so I wasn't able to provide any of those.
Well, they're gone, so.
They're gone. Exactly, so they're gone. So yeah, there was walls put up and electrical work that had been done all without permits. We did go, myself, the building official, we did go inside the building with the homeowner. We took some more pictures. The electrical work was rewired, capped, ultimately fixed from what we've been told. No permits have been pulled for that, and the building official was requesting that we have something from an electrical engineer or electrical permit. Thank you.
Okay, so what you're asking is for them to pull the permit and somebody to sign off that the work is correct?
Correct. That is safe and whatnot. And if you have more questions with that, I do have the building official ready to explain more about the electrical or.
I fully understand what you're asking, and I know why. If you want to bring Mr. Edmonds up, it's always nice to see him, but it's your case.
If you have no questions for the building official, Your Honor, I'm fine with just requesting that violation A be removed, and we just keep violation B for the no electrical work. We just want to have something stating that the building is safe and that all the electrical work was done properly.
It would be a shame if it burnt down after we made him fix it up.
Sure would.
Kobe, do you have any questions for Mr. Rondi?
No.
Anything you want to tell me?
Yeah, sure. Just give an update regarding the electrical permit. So we already discussed with our electrician, and they are in the process of getting that the permit open and to do their own inspection, make sure that everything was kept right or done right and everything is good. And they will call for inspection once you have that.
Okay. Call Mr. Rondi as soon as it's done.
Absolutely. And I understood from my electrician that he told me last week that it will be open this week or the week after, so it should be done pretty soon.
Okay. I understand. I'm going to find you not in compliance. Issue an order number 11. This one is $250 a day until it's corrected, and $83.45 within 30 days. All right? So move it along. I hate to say this. Get that permit applied for as soon as you can. All right, thank you for coming, sir. You're more than welcome to stay, but you're not required to.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. The next case is SLF VDES Holdco LLC. Just rolls off the tongue like Coca-Cola. Case CDEF 2024-40. Is there a representative here from SLF?
There is not, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Herstein, I'll put this one to the end if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay. The next one is 4D. Oh boy.
Would you like me to read the?
How do you say something with two consecutive H's in it?
I do not know.
Okay,
Jaya.
Jaya.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jaya.
Great.
Chaya K. Nathu and Kiran D. Nathu as co-trustees of the Kyra K. Nathu Revocable Living Trust dated September 10th, 2007. Now, there are two different spellings here for Chira
C-H-H-A-Y-A.
and C-H-A-Y-A.
C-H-H is correct, I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay, I'm just curious if they got the trust document right.
The trust document is with double H's at, all of the documents should say double H.
Okay, not a problem. SCDEF 2023-42. And Ms. Herstein, this is yours.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Could you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
And sir, since you knew how to say the lady's name, I'm imagining you're here on this case. Would you mind switching seats, please?
Okay.
And your name?
Christopher Bump. I'm a dental BUMP.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bump, I appreciate you being here, and we'll conduct it just the same way we've done the other two.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you connected to this property?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were,
No, that's okay, I'm curious. Do we have a consent to represent or anything like that?
we do, we have an authorization to
Okay.
answer.
All right. You may proceed, Ms. Herstein.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I'd like to ask that each of the documents included in this PowerPoint file, whether presented during the hearing or not by the city for this case, be accepted as evidence, most of which have been provided to the special magistrate and all of which have been provided to the respondent's rep, or not representative, but gentleman here authorized to answer questions.
Okay. Mr. Bump, I see you're holding up a ream of paper. Did you receive that from the city?
Yes.
And do you have an objection as to why it shouldn't be received into evidence?
No, everything looks correct.
Okay, then it'll be received into evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is a first compliance hearing for a property found in violation with 3 violations on October 17th of 2024. The respondent was given until August 5th, and let me stop by saying thank you for being here this morning. Clearly, you are going above and beyond by being here in
Well,
your current state, so thank
It's
you.
our last one, and I hate to disappoint everybody that made plans for today.
I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
The respondent was given until August 5th to obtain a permit for backfilling the lost sand and implementing a permanent means of protecting that sand. Around the time of the initial hearing, both before and after, I heard from contractor Chris Bump, who was working for the owner to permit and complete either a permanent seawall or rock revetment. No FDEP permit approval was submitted, nor DBS permit application for the, any rectification. And the temporary panels, which were in place during that initial hearing, the temporary panels have begun to show signs of compromise, which I will show you in
Is
the
that
slides.
what you're showing me here are temporary
That is
panels?
when, shortly after, somewhat after, the temporary panels were placed.
Okay.
There was a temporary FDEP permit, is my understanding. We don't permit those temporary repairs, but FDEP can, and did so in this case. But, and there was some talk of taking those temporary panels and turning them into a more permanent situation with a cap, a concrete cap. But engineering was never forthcoming for that, to us certainly, and possibly not to FDEP in a way that they could approve. So there is no approval. And the temporary permit has expired, is my understanding.
Are these panels of the type of material that would last long duration?
I can't answer that question because we didn't review this fix, but it has always been understood to be temporary.
Okay.
So my thought is no, but that's not based on reviewing any specs about the panels or how they were installed.
Okay, now the next picture I think you're going to show me is November 2022. Yeah, that. So what we're looking at in the August 24 is most of this sand has been returned and this temporary barrier was put up.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it looks like somebody took a big bite out of it.
After the compliance date, and I will show you, like I said, I will show you a recent picture of the panels and how they have begun to show signs of compromise. After the compliance date, the property was re-inspected, reevaluated, no progress had been made. An affidavit of noncompliance begins in this packet on page 4D-10. I have a few slides of pictures. Then I have a request for an order number 11 to impose the fines as a lien and reimbursement of $92.42 in administrative fees. The initial hearing fees have been paid. They were paid shortly after that initial hearing. Also, Mr. Bump did reach out recently, does have an authorization to answer your questions from the respondent. We received that yesterday. Mr. Bump is again involved apparently with helping the owner bring the property into compliance. Let me please show you the slides of how it looks today.
Okay.
So this was shortly after the panels were installed and backfilled, before some of the vegetation had filled in. Then vegetation filled in, it's been that way for a while. And now these pictures were taken November 23rd, and you can see how the temporary, they were only designed to be temporary.
Right.
And they are, they have clearly begun to be there longer than they can do good for this property. So they have begun to fail. We are requesting an order number 11 to impose the fines as a lien, and are optimistic and hopeful that Mr. Bump can move this forward to a permanent repair with either a wall or a rock or that, whatever they are able to get approved by FDC.
Okay, I have one additional question. 4D-17, it looks like you posted on the property,
Yes, Your Honor.
but we also have good service. I guess Mr. Bump is here,
The
so.
good service, correct. The good
Okay.
service was provided by posting, but I also do have good service through, I believe I have good service through certified mail too. But as long as the certified mail is sent, it doesn't have to be received.
Right.
But it is the posting being considered good service is dependent upon also sending it by certified.
Okay, well, he's here, so
Yes, indeed.
it cures any defect.
Thank
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Hurstein?
you. No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bump, do you have any questions for Ms. Hurstein?
Yes, sir.
Anything you'd like to say to me?
If I could,
Sure. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay. What would you like to tell me?
Well, first off, the wall that is up was designed to be a permanent wall with a concrete cap on the top, and that's what I submitted to the state. And I was told that they were gonna work it as both, because the wall those panels would be inserted, they could be used as a temporary to hold the dirt and everything. And then once, we had everything backfilled, then we could form and pour a wall, and that was gonna be processed to the permanent wall.
Okay, what are the panels made out of?
It's a PVC material, and it's got 4 feet above the ground and 8 feet in the ground.
Okay.
And, but then we had a bunch of storms and waterways and, other things that happened in that time. And I was told by different people, which I now have realized isn't the case, that the state and the federal government had different ideas of maybe putting the sand and everything back to create the natural dunes that were there originally, and that, I was kind of put it on hold until I found out if that was gonna happen to save the money from, and since then, the owners decided not to do the concrete ribbon on the top of the panels and use the rock, I don't know, what is it called, the rock?
A revetment.
And instead, because that seems to be what's more accepted on the beach.
You're gonna pile rock up against that wall?
Well, that's the other thing. They said I might be able to use that as a barrier to hold the rocks and get the rocks in place and then pull those panels out and then backfill behind it. But I'm in the process
Why
of.
would you pull the panels out?
What's that?
Why would you pull the panels out?
Only if they require it. I mean, if
I see.
Yeah, I don't want to, and they say that I might be able to leave them, but.
Well, there's a big difference between government regulation and structural engineering.
Oh, that's what I submitted, a stamped set of plans showing the panels in with the concrete wall, you know. It was engineered and designed to be like that.
Right, but it doesn't exist,
No, it
so.
doesn't. Because, like I said, yeah, but I'm applying for the permits and I will be in compliance.
Okay, one of the things that impresses me about this case is the sheer amount of time that's gone on during your contact with the city. Like, for instance, there was communication between you and Ms. Herstein on December 23rd, 2024, and then nothing till November 23rd, 2025.
I was calling the building department, and I should have been calling the code compliance.
Okay, it's just an expensive lot. I'm surprised that.
Oh, the owner wants to move forward with and build a house on it, so, we want to get moving on it.
Okay. Ms. Herstein, any questions for Mr. Bump?
Yes, Your Honor. I am unaware of a hybrid temporary/permanent FDE permit. Did the property owner receive a temporary permit
Yeah, we received the.
or a permanent permit, a permanent
Well,
fix?
I've got an email from, I think his name was Doug, but I can give you a copy of the original plan that I turned into the state for it, and it shows the panel and the ribbon on the top, and he said that, they would accept the panel as a temporary wall, and then, he said he was gonna forward it up, and I've got an email saying that, you've been approved for the temporary wall, and I'm moving forward on the other permit.
So is it your understanding that you received a temporary permit or a permanent?
I received a temporary permit.
Okay, thank you. And was any permit obtained from the city for this work that we've seen?
I received a letter from you saying that co-compliance, or it was a letter saying that you were aware of the temporary permit and that you guys didn't have anything to do with it or something. I mean, it was something that was required before I could put in the panel, and I had to give to, again, Doug with the state before I could install the panels.
So was any permit obtained from the city for the work that we've seen?
No.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing further.
You understand that there's 3 levels of government you're dealing with here, right?
State, the federal government and.
Right, because you happen to be on the water line.
Right.
And we're the city, so while you're dealing with the other 2 big ones,
Right.
you have to make sure that you're taking care of the local one.
I understand. And that's what, I apologize for not communicating better with Gwen. I should have called her and let her know what we were, how we had changed from the panels and we're gonna do the stone and, and everything that I was working on.
Okay, I understand that. You're probably going to get more assistance out of the local government than you will out of the 2 other ones, because they've got other things to do.
Yeah, just a phone call. You guys call me back the same day and it takes them weeks to call me back sometimes.
Oh, good customer service. You're going to give government a bad name. Okay, sir, I'm going to find that you're not in compliance. Issue order number 11, $250 per day until it's repaired.
Didn't the paperwork said 200, but.
$250.
Oh, it did? Okay.
I believe he may be.
Oh, wait a second, is
Yes, it is $200.
200. We skipped C, that's right, 200 a day.
I'm sorry, I don't want to correct.
No, $50 is $50 a day.
I
That's,
understand.
$35, $350 a week. $85.53 in administrative fees. Can you pay that within 30 days?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I believe that's for a continuance. I think we were looking for $92.43.
Oh, okay, I was just reading what was here. Sorry, it's gone up, $92.43.
Yes, sir.
Again, within 30 days.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bonpipe.
Thank you.
I see that.
9243 though?
It's $92.43. Thank you. I apologize.
All right, you should probably leave before I have to raise the price again. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. The next one is property owner Vivek Agrawal, 2804 South Atlantic Avenue, Daytona Beach Shores. Case number CDEF 2024-31. Is there a representative? Is there your name?
Matthew Riley.
I'm sorry.
Matthew Riley.
Okay. Mr. Riley, how are you connected to the property?
So I have worked with Vivek and his parents before to purchase other properties in the area. I did not represent him on 2804 South Atlantic, but we do have a working relationship going back to 2020.
Okay, are you an attorney?
No,
Okay.
I'm a realtor.
All right. And we have a authorization to represent.
We received one yesterday.
Okay, great. If you wouldn't mind having a seat in the front. Ms. Herstein, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to ask that each of the documents included in this PowerPoint file, whether presented during the hearing or not, by the city for this case be accepted as evidence, most of which have been provided to the special magistrate and all of which have been provided to the respondent or they're authorized to answer.
Okay. Mr. Riley, I was a little concerned when you had nothing in your hand, but realized you left it in your chair.
Yeah.
So you've had a chance to examine the packet.
Yes.
Do you have a legal reason why it should not be received into evidence? Is that a yes or? Sure. Do you have a legal reason why or objection why it should not be received into evidence?
No.
Okay. Then it'll be received into evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is a first compliance hearing for 8 violations on a property ordered to correct them at an initial hearing in April of this year. The respondent was given until September 17th to rectify the violations, or a fine of $200 per day would begin. Reinspection showed that while some painting had been done and some debris had been removed, no violations had been completely rectified. Good service was achieved on the notice of first compliance hearing, and yesterday we received the authorization to answer form from the property owner for Realtor Matthew Riley. He's been asked to help the owner, and hopefully that will help move this forward to compliance. I'd like to show you some images of the 8 violations, and then I'll request an order number 11, a finding of non-compliance and imposition of the fines as a lien. I'll also request administrative fee reimbursement of $85.53, and maybe I'll change that later, I hope not, to be paid along with the still unpaid initial hearing fees of $149.09 for a total of $234.62.
Okay. Is this on the ocean side or the non-ocean side?
It's on the west side of it.
West side. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. This is a screenshot taken yesterday of permits pulled for the property since late 2012. Since this property owner owned the property, which occurred basically at the red line, no permits have been obtained for any work on the property. Violation A, trash recyclable containers are not screened from view from abutting streets. And violation B, relatedly, trash recyclable containers are either out earlier than 5 p.m. Monday, which is the day before containers are emptied, or have been left out later than 9 p.m. Tuesday, the day containers are emptied. Earlier pictures are shown above. A recent picture taken November 23rd shows that that's still out. That was on a Sunday. Violation C, Again, earlier pictures in orange above, the red taken recently, November 23rd. Exterior walls of the property, the building, have holes that can admit dampness to interior walls on the west side of the building. And as you can see in that lower right-hand picture, there are very large holes in the siding, and an attempt was made at some point to cover one of those holes with a board, which is not permitted and insufficient. Violation D, siding material and paint are discolored at various locations on the building. Again, earlier pictures above, recent pictures at the bottom of this slide, the 3 different pictures. Some painting has been done. Other areas have not been addressed yet. So this violation cannot be deemed compliant yet. Violation E, unpainted wood may admit dampness at the rear of the building. There are situations where you would normally have trim, and instead you have exposed unpainted wood, and that is only going to make the situation worse. That has not been rectified. Violation F, various items of debris, including a tire or refrigerator, wooden pallets, metal railings, concrete pavers, and buckets are in view at various locations on the property. The pictures above show more debris, and that was over a span from September of 2024 to April 3rd of 2025. It sat there a very long time. Much of that has been picked up, but as you can see just in this one image, there is still a railing just laying there near the trash, but it, I assume, won't be picked up because it has not been for a very long time. Violation G, windows have paint overspray on them at various locations on the building. This was corrected at one opening, but you can see that it remains at this particular opening and has not been addressed. Violation H, garage door is missing paint and one window at the rear of the building. Your Honor, I believe that one of these windows is broken, and there's another window that's broken that wasn't specifically addressed because that's not something that I could ascertain from the right-of-way. I did end up speaking with somebody who was doing work on the property. She was actually waiting for a landscaper because they have very tall weeds at this point. I understand that the landscaper did not show up that day, unfortunately, November 23rd or later. I think it was the 24th that I spoke with her. But this violation has not been corrected. If a window has been replaced, it was done without a permit, but I believe there's at least one broken window there. There may be another that will require permits, and I'm saying that for the record as the representative is here today and looking to address those items. But this has not been fully addressed. And we are asking, as I stated, for an order number 11, a finding that the property remained in violation beyond your order date, and that you impose the order imposing fine and lien, and my amount requested for administrative fees matches what I had previously asked for, $85.53.
Okay. Mr. Riley, do you have any questions for Ms. Hursti?
No.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to say to me?
Yeah.
All right. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to say?
I would like to say that I'm not sure what has gone on over the past couple of years with the property, but as of like the past 6 to 8 weeks or so, I've been back working with them. I have talked to Gwen, and I'm going to try to help them hire the right people to do the right job the right way so that there's no more violations with the property.
I appreciate that. It doesn't seem like a monumental task to get everything done. It just needs to be done.
Yeah. And I'm going to try to move it along as fast as I can. They don't live around here, so they basically asked me to help them fix everything that needs to be done.
Okay. Well, the city does maintain a list of contractors that have performed work. That might be a good way to start, good place to start.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm not recommending any particular one, but that's a good place to start.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to find that you're not in compliance, or the owners are not. Issue order number 11, $200 per day until the violations are corrected, and $85.53 within 30 days, please.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll tell them.
thank you for coming.
Okay.
And what's outstanding in total for those fees is $234.62, because they didn't pay the fees from the initial.
Oh, yes.
And the only thing that was done was
Well, it has been moved,
it has been moved.
which is not
And I have
on
a
this
picture if you
list,
guys want it.
but good news.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
What typically happens is after the violations are fixed, people come in front of me and ask me to reduce the fine. If the administrative fees are not paid, it makes it very, very difficult for me to believe what they're saying. You understand?
Got it.
Thank you. All right. Circling back to 4C. SLFVDBS Holdco LLC, case CDEF 2024-40. Is there anybody here for this property? Seeing no one yet. Ms. Erstein, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We've got one more. And even though there are 48 violations on this property, we only have to talk about 18 of them. And I only have 8 slides worth of pictures.
Okay.
You can do this.
I'm here as long as you need me.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this is a first compliance hearing for a property found in violation in January of this year. 48 violations remained at the initial hearing. I think we started with 50, and we were able to correct 2 of them before we got to that initial hearing. 3 dates for compliance were ordered. By July 16th of this year, 18 violations were ordered to be rectified, with others given until March of 2026. Of the 18 ordered compliant in July, 9 were found to have been brought into compliance, and 9 were found to not have been brought into compliance. Affidavits of both non-compliance and compliance partial were generated to reflect this and can be seen beginning on page 4-C18 of the packet. Other than mainly the undertaking of the seawall and return wall repairs and replacement, no contact with my office had occurred until yesterday or the day before with Matthew. And so that, I'm sorry, not with Matthew. No contact with my office has occurred at all. I'm mixing up my cases. I had reached out about today's hearing by phone, but have not yet been able to connect with our previous contact. Good
Okay.
service was achieved with hand delivery and certified mail for today's hearing.
Interesting, this is not a cheap piece of property that,
No, indeed. No, indeed. And as I said, efforts were made for the seawall and the return wall. I did not plan to show you pictures of the 9 violations which were brought into compliance. You could see those clearly listed one by one on the affidavit of compliance partial, but I would like to take you through the 8
Okay.
that have remained in violation.
just one second. Mr. Riley, I appreciate the fact you're fascinated by this, but you have no requirement to stay.
But you're welcome to.
But you're welcome to.
It's totally up to you.
I don't want you to think that you have to stick around.
Okay. I appreciate
I'm not kicking you out.
I'm sorry, you're, what? No, this is an entirely different property.
Okay, so, okay.
You're
All right,
done.
well, thank you. I appreciate
But
it.
if you want to stay, you certainly are welcome.
Yeah, I want to stay for this, actually.
Okay.
I'm about to show you pictures of the 9 violations that were ordered to be compliant in July, but I will also then have a recommendation for an order number 11 for this case to impose the accrued fines as a lien with additional administrative fees requested of, well, let's see when we get there. I apologize.
9243 is what you have written.
Excellent. That's what I want, not the 8553 that I have written here.
Did they go up?
These are property, images of the property previously, but I will show you some updated,
Okay.
more targeted pictures. I hope you could tell from the image that I gave you in the packet that the violations that we're not even talking about today in any way were all made very small, but they're still part of this case, so they were listed nonetheless. Hopefully that wasn't too difficult to read, but that's what you're looking at on these two slides. Three slides. This is a screenshot taken on December 2nd, showing what has been transpiring on the property. All of these permits, which I've listed for you one by one after this slide, they're all in the packet, were for seawall-related repairs.
Okay.
And as you can see, the status for each of these is closed. There are no open permits as of, I believe, October 6th on this property whatsoever, which, does cause some additional issues. Violation B, these are the 8 that remained in violation. Loose debris is present in many areas of the property, including building material, sand, and vegetative debris. I'm only showing you pictures of the way the property looked in November 23rd and 24th. I'm not also giving you previous images because they weren't necessary. Maybe in one case I did, but otherwise they're not necessary. You can see what's being described and that it's still happening. Violation C, construction type fabric has become tangled in the trees and elements of the building. This fabric was replaced along the way, but has been allowed to fall back into disrepair. Violation J, open storage of building materials with no associated active building permits. That was true at the time of the notice of violation and findings of fact, and is true again now that we're in this situation where we have no open permits. There are building materials. The lower left picture is on the pool deck, and this picture to the left of an entranceway that goes underneath the building toward the east. You can see more there. And they are present in other places on the property as well, mainly stacks of things like tile. Violation L, unsecured doors are ajar. When last I was there on the 23rd, there were at least 3, and maybe others. I will note, even though these doors are ajar, they do have a security presence on the property, but there are places that the property can still be entered fairly easily, and this is also exposing the units to the elements.
Right.
Violation P, erosion under the northeast corner of the building. This was not compliant by July 16th, 2025, but was rectified under building permit 2024-1815, which was final approved on July 29th. So that was compliant shortly after that ordered compliance date. And you can see that in the picture on the right, which should be colored green for you because it has been brought into compliance now, but it was not by the ordered compliance date. Violation R, property is open to trespassers and is easily accessed. This is a makeshift gate that was installed, obviously not permitted, but.
Is that a baby gate?
I don't think so, but it's not much above that. They sort of build it in places, and it's the only thing keeping interested people on the beach, of which there are many, from accessing the property. Violations S and JJ, seawall is missing at northeast corner, seawall is missing. Again, that was not compliant by July 16th, but was rectified under building permit 2025-0015, which was final approved on October 6th, 2025. Not a great picture of the seawall, but you can see it in the upper right quadrant of the picture, both the north wall in the back and the seawall on the right edge. And violation UU, driving pass-through under building at southwest corner of the property has been excavated without permits. Nothing has been done to rectify that. I understand that they needed to do this to get equipment toward the back of the property, but you see all those permits are closed. No permit was named or specs provided to fix this, and this is the way that it stands now. These pictures were as of November 23rd, and these are all images from different perspectives of that opening. And above it are 6 or 7 floors, which is why we are requesting an order number 11 imposing the accrued fines as of now.
Okay. Hearing no objection from any representative, I'm going to find that they are not in compliance. Order $250 a day until full compliance and $92.43. Administrative fees payable within 30 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does anybody else have any business? I note that Mr. Rondi said that 4E was canceled.
That case was one that I'm handling, and it is expected to be on January agenda. It was removed out of an abundance of caution. We did have an authorization to answer form. However, the address that it was mailed to was off by one digit. It was a scrivener's error that continued throughout the mailing process, and it was just decided to be transparent and correct.
Well, we don't want to do things twice. So I appreciate that. Okay, the next code enforcement hearing is January 15th in this building at 9 o'clock, and the one after that is February 19th. Again, same place, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you again for being here today.
Oh, happy to be here. And thank you, everyone, for a very good year.